to know what their fundamental, what we would call raison d'etre, reason for existing. What they don't seem to know what their fundamental
Yeah,
principles of the party.
sir. You make a good point, and that really is a pity because, sir. Opposition journeys is a time for reflection, a time when you recalibrate yourself, a time when you envision, repackage yourself. It's a time that can benefit a
Take
political
stock,
party.
take stock, to take stock, to take stock.
Yeah. Parties must not remain in government for forever, sir. Sometimes they need to go in opposition to look back at themselves. And I wonder, Mr. Campbell, Mr. Crawford, all of you comrades listening, I wonder how have you used the last 9 years to refashion the People's National Party as a vehicle for Jamaica's forward movement and development. For example, this blood and fire thing that I hear in recent time, I think it's the Senator Gabriel Morris, war, that is, they're ready for war. One would have thought that by now the party would have presented a compelling roadmap that challenges the government, presenting alternatives. Yes, that the Jamaican people can be inspired to say, yes, we see our aspirations in this vision. And that has been the disappointment, if I must be very honest. George?
Yes, I'm here. So the PNP does not seem to know what it stands for. And I remember when Mr. Golden became president of the party, he was asked about his ideological leaning, and he said he doesn't want to get involved in ideology. Basically, I read that to mean that there are people in the PNP who are still radical left, but he doesn't want to upset those people. He doesn't want to upset that camp in the PNP, that most radical camp of the PNP. So he doesn't want to talk about ideology. But because the PNP doesn't have an ideological foundation, they don't know where they're going. They don't know what they stand for. They understand the PNP has traditionally believed that government must be the engine of the economy, and the private sector is just hanging on. They're just hangers on. But the government must be the engine of the economy. That's the traditional PNP view, right? But Mark has basically tried to, I think, effectively move them more to the right without actually saying so, without laying down a foundation. And this is why we can't get a manifesto out of them. And from the PNP as to where they want to take Jamaica. Because look, if I have a doctor, if I have a medical doctor neighbor, and my medical doctor comes and says to me, well, look, this is what is wrong with you. You've been diagnosed with so and so, and this is the prescribed course of action. And somebody else comes on who is not a doctor, who says, look, I've read books, I've watched what this doctor is doing, and I do not agree with him. You should not do what the doctor says, you should do what I say. I'm not going to listen to the man who just come on the scene. I'm going to listen to the professional, the trained professional. So, and I say that to say the JLP's approach to governance, moving the economy forward, Yes, I agree. GDP has not grown at the rate that we would like under the JLP at this point. But I am still going to trust the JLP to move us to where we should go, as opposed to the PNP, who has no clue about this approach.
Well, I appreciate the comments, huh? You're gonna be staying with us?
Yes, I'll stay if there's anybody who wants
Yeah,
to.
all right, no problem. Then hold on there.
Yeah.
Scratchy,
Yes, neighbor.
how you doing, man?
No, but at
Well, boy, it's nice that you are back. You are here tonight, man. We have missed you for a while.
yeah, you know, I've been busy, you know, but I'm here for a while. I see you coming under a lot of pressure, you know.
I
From
I am. Am I really?
yes, I see a lot of other lives, and I see you coming out. But I mean, it come to the territory, neighbor.
Yes.
I mean, some of it can be seen as constructive criticism as well, not
Yes.
just as attack, as mere attack, you know. Again, neighbor,
Uh-huh.
it coming, but I'm cool. I'm okay with it, neighbor. You're doing good. Keep it up.
So,
Yes.
neighbor, can I ask you a question? I didn't hear your view. If you give it before and I didn't hear, forgive me. To what, if you can't answer, don't want to answer, I understand. What was your impression of Mr. Crawford's presentation last night?
Sir, I really want to leave that alone. I think that you go to your bed, you sleep, you wake up, you leave yesterday.
Okay.
We
You
leave
know what,
that
sir?
alone.
Funnily, you know what, sir? Funnily, funnily. You know what happened now? I asked you, we know. You know what happened last night? Funnily, I was the one who asked you this very same question. When you finished talking to me, I start to question myself and say, I wonder if I did the right thing by asking you. That's what happened.
Yes.
Because my impression was by me asking you the very same question that you was asked. No, you wasn't feeling pleased about it. That was my impression last night.
Yes. No. And let me just say this to you, George.
Yes.
That I was listening to some people today, and I had to join the program because I couldn't believe. I could not believe what I was hearing. You know, I am learning. I'm learning as I'm learning. I was listening for more than half an hour, and they did not know that I was listening because I never joined. I was just listening. And I tell you something, I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed because, it was so far from the facts that I had to join. And when I joined, I think they were a little surprised that I was listening. And that is that. But I must say, one of my listeners, Kerry from Portland. I have to commend Kerry, I think Kerry was, trying her best to put a position out there for me. Is she online here now? Kerry was saying, all right, he's da. But leave that. Thank you, Kerry. But sir, I understand that you win some, you lose some, and that's how the thing goes. Let me say this. Let me say this to the listeners. I ask questions that my listeners can't ask. There are more people who listen to this program than who participate on the program. The audience here right now is 228 people. I'm going to pull up the other part of it, because what you don't know is that there are many more people listening to this program than actually joins the program. So that number you see up on the screen are those people who tap the screen and are actually staying on the program. They're not going anywhere. They are logged on. But there are hundreds of other people that are skipping through the program. Every night when we close and we get a report, more than 6,000 people have viewed the program. My role is to ask my guests questions on behalf of the listeners. So I place myself in the position of my listeners. It doesn't matter who you are. I am going to ask you questions because my listeners want those answers. If it offends the labor rights because it's a labor right man, well then PNP people listen to the program and they want those answers. If it is a PNP man, yes, and the PNP don't like the questions I ask him, well, that is just my style. And I am not going to change it for anybody at all. So if you think that my style is not up to your cup of tea, then there is a little button on your phone. Move along, because I can tell you, so long as you stay here on Politics Plus, I am going to probe those persons who come here in a respectful way. And I'm going to ask them relevant questions that I feel my listeners want answered. Scroll on if you don't like it. Go ahead, Scratchy. Yes. Who is there? Scratchy? Delroy?
I think his voice.
I'm here, my neighbor. Good night to you and the rest of
How you doing? How you doing, big friend?
Man, I'm doing upbeat to them, man, especially when to know that we have the PMP, we're right where we want them and so forth, neighbor. I mean, it doesn't matter the bickering of Bark, Golden and others. We have the PMP right where we want them, neighbor, and we're looking to just give them the TKO, which is the technical knockout. And once again, we're geared and ready to give the PMP the TKO once again at the polls, a technical knockout.
You're going to knock them out?
We are going to give them a technical knockout against them.
You're going to win by a split decision, or you're going to third round? What?
Matter of fact, we will annihilate the PMP in the very first round, in seconds of the first round.
But then that's not fair to the supporters, the people who pay to come and watch the match.
Well, neighbor, I mean, we just have to do what we have to do. We have other tournaments we have to be victors in as well, you know. I mean, come on, the PMP is an obstacle, and we're always ready to remove the obstacle out of the way of development.
I see. Well, we shall see what we shall see, sir.
Oh yes, sir.
How are things down at your neck of the woods?
Well, things are getting better for the Jamaica Labour Party and the MP in Northeast St. Elizabeth. Couldn't have gotten any more better, but it is getting better, and we're very much grateful for the energy and the feedback, the reception we're getting on the ground from people, persons who are willingly converting themselves from over the PMP side to the prosperity side. Neighbor, we would have had some issues, and these issues are being addressed. Some would have been completely addressed, and therefore, once those issues would have been addressed, neighbor, we expect that things would have gotten better for us, and evidently so, they have gotten better. And we have some more work to do to get even more better. So it's not as if we're going to sit on our laurels and take comforts to the point where we become lazy and comfortable. No, we're not complacent, neighbor. We're about to make sure that the PMP remains right where they rightfully deserve, which is in opposition, sir.
Okay.
Vote Delroy, something very quickly. Vote Delroy, I sent you some information. Check it, okay? Because that area that you're in that's where I am from. I sent you
Yes, sir.
something. Look, see if you
Yes,
see,
man.
see him send you a number. Did you see it?
No, I haven't checked it out yet, sir, but I promise to check it as soon as I get the time, sir.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Yes.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
Yes,
Yeah.
Scratchy, your time. Go ahead, Scratchy.
Yes, neighbor.
Yeah, man. What you saying?
Yeah, man, neighbor. Again, neighbor is a good looking neighbor. We're, doing the same movement, pushing the hard work of the government, neighbor. So we're coming down to crunch time now, guys. So we just want, now is the time, neighbor, where, they say the last mile is always the longest in the neighbor.
Uh-huh.
Right now we're on the last furlong and going into the home stretch, neighbor. So
Are you surprised? Are you surprised, Scratchy, that they calling me a comrade?
No, neighbor, this is politics in the neighbor, and this is how politics. Politics is a dirty game in the neighbor. Politics, and neighbor, this is something that the moment I know you're a very smart man, neighbor. I know from the moment you decided to form a platform like this, you know what this platform is going to come with, So I suspect that you must be strong in yourself, within your self-esteem, and otherwise, that whatever come, it's just a politics, neighbor, man. Whether it's coming from a side that you support or a side that you don't support, it's just politics. But moving on, neighbor, I think we have a lot that we can talk about. I think we can focus on the good work of the government. They've been doing this for too long now to be distracted by naysayers. We have a man like discussion here. A very man who, speaks a lot and knows exactly what he's talking about. You have Gusto here and you have George here. So we just continue to push, neighbor. We're not talking about who want to as Labour, right? Who want to as PNP, because an election day, when they go behind that, but that only you alone know who you vote for. Whether they want to come here and keep a Labour platform or not. You get me?
Yes.
But the most important thing, neighbor, we just want to push the third term for the government, neighbor.
Yes. How you see it, Scratchy. The forecaster is looking at a 42 seat win for the Jamaica Labour Party, but then there are polls suggesting that the People's National Party is in the race. Do you accept that the opposition People's National Party is in with a chance?
Definitely, neighbor. It's a two-man race, so definitely you could never count out the opponent in a two-man race, neighbor. The odds are very small to count out the opponent. It's a two-man race. You'll be stupid for two-man going in a race and you try to write off an opponent. Anything can happen. Obstacle can happen and a man fell before we reach the finish line, and you get me? So we're not going to write off the PNP, neighbor. We're not going to be complacent, neighbor. We know that the PNP is campaigning, neighbor. It is not blind. We see how the PNP is campaigning. The PNP is campaigning only towards its base, neighbor.
Sorry there. We're gonna open discussion.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna ask you to lend us your space for someone else to come up.
Yeah,
please.
man. Certainly, no problem.
Thank you for joining. You hear, sir? All right, Jamaica girl. There's one space available. Go ahead, Scratchy.
So yeah, neighbor, I'm saying, neighbor, we are seeing two different type of campaign, neighbor. We are seeing the PNP directly targeting the base persons who they take, who to them they might say that yes, these persons support the People's National Party. So let's just target them. Again, now the good thing that the Jamaica Labour Party is doing, neighbor, the Jamaica Labour Party is targeting now the wider Jamaica. Even persons who might consider themselves to be PNP, with so much of them crossing the floor and coming over. So even the common man now, neighbor, who don't vote, or the person, not the common man, the person who normally say don't partake in election, a person like that, neighbor, the wind that is blowing towards the Jamaica Labour Party automatically is going to attract someone like that, neighbor. And the party is in a good standing, neighbor. The Prime Minister carried us on his back in 2020, neighbor. Yes, I don't think the Prime Minister is carrying that much weight for the party again this time, neighbor. We have some first-time MPs who have really made themselves relevant. They have made themselves visible. Last time I know, most of these persons were virtually unknown, neighbor. We didn't know none of these persons. They have come on the mark for the first 4 or 5 years, from 2020 to now 5 years, 4.5, 5 years. They showed us what they can do. And they make a name for themselves. I don't think the Prime Minister have that big burden again of carrying the whole nation, the whole party on his back this time. I think the party has gained some form of traction.
There's a view, Scratchy, that the Holness magic of 2020 is not there. But then I am hearing that when he touches the ground, that they are sensing that same magic. People like Infomedia have been saying...
The magic is there, neighbor. I'm not on the ground, neighbor. But when I'm watching it from social media, I can see it, I can feel it, I can imagine someone who's literally there. The magic is there, neighbor. The Prime Minister has that presence, neighbor, where when the Prime Minister touches down anywhere in Jamaica, neighbor, the Prime Minister presence is felt. You can literally see that this man is in command. The way this man dress, the way this man talk, the way he carry himself, compared to his opponent, you can see that this man is really in charge. We're looking at a leader, we're looking at a father figure, looking at someone who can say, yeah, this man represents us well. So yes, neighbor, the Prime Minister is still relevant, but what I'm saying is that
yes, Scratchy, and
member of
the
parliament
polls
who
are
we might
showing,
have carried.
yes, the blue dot polls, they show the leader of the Jamaica Labour Party 9 points ahead of Golden. Don Anderson, generally viewed as more favorable to the opposition, 7 points ahead. A popular leader, Scratchy, a popular leader is not likely to not do well in an election now, eh?
Right.
Exactly, neighbor. Going into an election, neighbor, where both polls, both major polls, both Blue Dot and both Dan Anderson, which a lot of Jamaicans favor the PNP, is saying that the Prime Minister is 7% ahead of the opposition leader. That is big, neighbor. Big being going into the final state of an election. Remember, neighbor, we live in a country, Jamaica is a country that is leader-centric. Jamaica is very leader-centric as well, neighbor. We have to always remember that it is the leaders who carry these political parties, neighbor. So if you have a leader of the governing party who is 9% and 7% in the other one, that is big advantage JLP, neighbor.
Yeah. Finally, in this segment, Scratchy, is that there is a view emerging that the leader of the president of the People's National Party is not authentic, that he's not connecting with Jamaicans. Do you share that view that he is unreal? That there's
one thing with us, one thing with us Jamaicans in the neighbor.
Yes.
A man, if I go school, or if him don't, I'm not getting a subject here, if him don't go school, neighbor, there's one thing all Jamaicans have in common, neighbor.
Yes.
You can identify when someone is being fake, neighbor. We master that. As Jamaicans, we master that. We can identify when someone is being fake. Definitely, neighbor. This is not Mark Golding, neighbor.
You're saying definitely?
It's fake, neighbor. This is not Mark Gold, neighbor. You can't hear it in the guy lingo, the guy talk, neighbor. Comrades. This guy don't say comrades. Comrades.
Yeah.
Who are the comrades? Who are the comrades?
I don't know if it's a different name for the Tapanaris that he often talk about, neighbor, but he says comrades. I hear everybody go up and say comrades. But this guy say comrades. This guy go up, the term, I'm mocking him with it, guy. He likes to use that term, guy. You know, stuff like that.
But he can dance. He can dance, Scratchy.
You think? I mean, but I wouldn't know if he can dance or not.
Yes.
I think he's trying to show us that he's authentic and
trying too hard.
Yeah. You can see that you're living. I think Mark Golden have a book that he's reading, neighbor, in how to talk patois and how to act like your roots and the Jamaican. You know, you go over jungle and talk, hi man, you need this. Come on, Mark Golden. Look at the Prime Minister, neighbor. The Prime Minister is Jamaican from Spanish Town.
Do you think that Golden would have been better served if he maintained his upper class demeanor? Yeah, he's a man with some talent, Scratchy. Yes.
All right. The problem with Mark Golden, neighbor, is the project or PNP project themselves, neighbor, with the type of wealth that Mark Golden coming to the party with as a leader and the way how he carry himself, neighbor, the party decided that maybe Mark Golden image or Mark Golden style will not connect as our leader with how we push ourselves to be the party for the poor with a leader like this. So I think even in how this guy dressed, neighbor, I don't know if he's intentionally dressing like this to come down, trying to say that he's coming down to normal people level and how he's talking and stuff like that. But the leader of the party, neighbor, is not in line with the vision of what the party is about. It's far from reality with the party.
You are saying that there is a disconnect between the People's National Party and its leader.
Exactly, as an organization and him as an individual person, there's a very, very big disconnect, and even a blind man can see that.
Oh my! Well,
yeah, that would make sense to me too.
Floyd Morris would have seen that.
Yeah, even Floyd Morris can see that, neighbor. This man is there's a big disconnect between him and the party.
I see. And you think that it will play negatively in the election?
Yes, I think it will play negatively in the election on him because I personally think that yes, neighbor, persons are just the PNP is just rallying around for PNP's sake. I don't think they are connecting with their leader for say like we see PNP they love a manly neighbor. PNP they love PJ Patterson neighbor. PJ neighbor PNP they love black man PJ. They love Mama P. From that, which other leaders we see in the PNP come forward with neighbor where we can say yes, this leader is resonating with the People's National Party. This man is representing PNP. None. Peter Phillips, object failure, so what happened to him? Come now with Mark Golding, total different. It's not gonna work neither with him, but everything is different. PNP can't even play them song again, My Leader Barnia. They use that song again. Oh, you feel now to know you can't use a song like that again. Mark Golding neighbor is the biggest sore foot that the People's National Party.
They're not using that song?
Neighbor, this man down born here. So them are gonna play that song. Them just play it out at bare face to try down to take shame out of them high.
They have a birth everything. I didn't know that the PNP was not playing the song. Oh my goodness. Well, let us play it. Let us see if we can find the song. This song, Scratchy.
Yes, neighbor. If you forgive my background, neighbor. Today's Canada Independence Day, so there's some fireworks in the background.
Scratchy, where are you? Scratchy,
I'm in Canada. I'm in Canada. It's Canada Day today. It's Independence.
Yeah, I know. Where in Canada are you?
Gracious.
I'm in Toronto, George.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask the comments. You lead a barn, let me ask. Oh my goodness. Boy, I tell you, Scratchy.
Yeah, see this song.
Neighbor, there's a line in the song that says my grandmother born here. I'm sure my golden grandmother didn't born in Jamaica.
Right. How his father?
Is that so? Oh boy. Well, listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this.
My father is still a farmer and my mother is a retired civil servant. I never born with no gold spoon in my mouth.
That's the song.
Holness Banya. Him grandmother Banya. Him grandfather Banya. I Banya.
I Banya. Why I tell you?
You can't work with birth certificate never.
Banya. We broke out in Banya. So him not later.
Well, labor rights, you're gonna have to. I tell you. Scratchy, hold on there. What's up, Scratchy? Rodriguez?
What's going on, neighbor? Good night.
I'm here, Keisha.
Yes. I should tell the listeners that we are going to be giving them the 10 closest seats on the island. KC is here. The 10 closest seats in Jamaica. As of tonight, the 10 seats that are literally at dead heat. We have that coming up for you just after Rodriguez. Go ahead, sir.
Just go ahead. Let me hear them first. Let me say anything.
Yeah, I wanted to say.
When we start that, the lines are going to be cleared. Okay, so
I want to say something very quickly, if I can.
Yes, sir.
Along the line of the discussion you were having a while ago at Scratchy, you highlighted that the two polls have Andrew Holness way ahead of Golding in terms of popularity. I think it's very important. Jamaica, as far as I know, has never, as Scratchy said, it's leader-centric. Jamaica has never elected the less popular leader. That's one. Two, another point that was made, and you're going to probably consider this a little bit superficial. Jamaica never elected a fat prime minister. Jamaica never elected a big belly prime minister. It might sound superficial to you, but it has
I'm gonna
never
add to
happened.
that, George. George, 1 minute, George. I'm gonna add to that, George. And neighbor, if you take a look around the world, neighbor, take a look around the world, neighbor. Look at prime ministers, look at presidents, neighbor. Prime ministers and presidents normally don't come with beard, you know.
That's a good point too. That's a good point too.
Neighbor, look at all the president and prime minister. I'm going to Iran and them place and them man have them big bush up beard up face there.
Correct.
Yes. Wow. Huh.
Exactly.
Check all Jamaica prime minister neighbor and them have a beard up face like Mark Golding.
Never looked at
And
that.
check the world. Check the world. Mr. Trump, Obama before him, Biden before him, all of them. None of them have a beard.
That's true.
So it's about marketing, eh?
Marketing that you want to wear Jamaican color. He not even want to wear anything pertaining to Jamaican color.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I am saying that is very significant. That the difference between how the two of them look, just how they look. Andrew Holness looks athletic. He looks trustworthy. He's clean shaven, as was said before, and he looks like the Jamaican people. I cannot see.
George, the last time the Sigma run was held, George, Mark Golding went there for a photo shoot and took a taxi to the finish line. The Prime Minister run the race. The Prime Minister run the Sigma 5K run and Mark Golding went there for a photo op and took a taxi to the finish line. Had the security details about the security at the finish line. His security details about the finish line, neighbor.
This is a life.
I don't want to shake a Prime Minister like that, man.
Marty going to the football match and do not represent the country.
I am going to make a prediction, neighbor. I am going to make a prediction that Mark Golding is going to lose the election, and if he doesn't resign the same night of the election result, he'll resign soon after. I'm making
you are predicting that Golding is going to lose the election, eh?
Yes. And he's going to resign, if not the same night, shortly after.
I agree.
I agree with you.
I agree with you. And neighbor, this is why Mr. Crawford, I wish he was here tonight. I know he probably listening. Neighbor, I know him, Mr. Crawford said. Mr. Crawford know that the People's National Party cannot win this election. Him saying he's a mathematician. He know about numbers. Numbers man lie, woman lie, neighbor, but numbers don't lie.
Yes.
He know that, neighbor. Mr. Crawford, neighbor, is gonna spend every red cent that him have to make sure that he come out victorious in that seat over there in St. Catherine. So that when Mark Golding resign, he can put himself forward for presidency of the People's National Party.
And then now go get it.
You think so?
That is his strategy. That is his strategy. Him just to make sure that him win that seat, neighbor.
Crawford is done in politics.
Yes.
And last chance this year.
And Mr. Crawford, him know that too. He big leader aspirations that man have, neighbor. Him intention is to be neighbor. This man have himself say him is more intellectual than the PM, you know. And this man have a big ego in the neighbor. So him feel like say him need to go up to that position as the PM, you know, and challenge him, you know.
Yes.
Mr. Crawford is a man, neighbor, over the years who have been attacking the Prime Minister, you know. I kind of see him tone down his rhetoric towards the PM right now. And I say, let's take it up.
Yes.
They have a big surprise that come on, neighbor. They have a big surprise that come. All on our predict everything. DMP have one of the biggest surprise coming in this election.
I agree. I think this election, neighbor, is gonna defy every type of polls, everything we call pattern, everything in the past where I look upon and judge. This election, neighbor, is gonna defy all of that. Neighbor, they normally say that a high voter turnout tend to go in favor of the opposition party. Neighbor, I am telling you, if a high voter turnout is done this election, it will definitely not be in favor of the opposition party. a high voter turnout, neighbor, I mean, high voter turnout is what I mean.
A white vote for the PNP.
Persons are showing appreciation for everything that the government has done, the road work, the water projects, every single thing. The compensation package in the public sector, every single thing, neighbor. Trust me, this election is going to be one for the books.
Well,
and the worst now we have JPS that come on.
So neighbor, you can take my spot. Give somebody else my spot. I'll continue.
Yes, of course. I don't know. We are hoping to join KC shortly. For the 10 closest seats in the island. Time is going. It's 11 minutes to 10 o'clock. But
yeah, neighbor.
Don't move, Scratchy. Don't move, Scratchy. Comrade, how you doing? Comrade? Mansa?
Yeah. Good night, neighbor.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Good night to your panel. Neighbor, you know high voter turnout doesn't favor the governing party.
The opposition party high voter turnout favor.
No, man. It's the opposite. The high voter turnout favors the opposition, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, but you said the opposite just now. So
no, I corrected myself. I corrected myself when I said it. That's why I could correct you right away as I come in with it.
Okay. So once you see a high voter turnout, if election day you see that, you know it's not a good sign for the
this election.
He's saying that this one may be a little different because of the performance of the government, that people are likely to come out in high numbers to show their appreciation for the high salary that they have gotten, the increase in the country's infrastructure improvements. Is that what you're saying, Scratchy?
Exactly, neighbor. The compensation package, the road works, 100 neighbor. When I was in Jamaica, neighbor, I used to go around in rural Jamaica, and to the viewers and to everyone on the panel, we need to make a strong point to be noted, neighbor. Elections, neighbor, are won in rural Jamaica is where elections are won.
Yeah, because the seats in St. Catherine and Kingston very rarely change.
Exactly. So elections, neighbor, are won in rural Jamaica, the country. But listen now, neighbor. No other government in the history of Jamaica has never done more for rural Jamaica than this Andrew Holness-led government. Your neighbor?
Yes.
No, neighbor. When I was in Jamaica, I used to canvass. I go St. Mary, I go West, when I go all about and canvass. When I go to someone and I am saying to them, I'm campaigning and I say, I want you to support this candidate, you know. No, I don't vote, come and see what them do. At 30 years, we don't have water, boy. You have water now. What you gonna tell someone like me when I come back to canvass you? You have to show appreciation to the government.
The elections are won, Scratchy, in the rural parishes.
Rural parishes are where elections are won, Jamaica, neighbor, and no government has done more for rural Jamaica than this Andrew Holness government in this 9 years.
Say that again, Scratchy, because I want the listeners to understand that the seats in Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine very rarely changes.
One or two the most.
Yes.
So neighbor, no other government, neighbor, and that is where elections are won. Look at Jamaica, look at majority of the infrastructure project that Jamaica has gotten under this government. Where has it been taking place, neighbor? Rural Jamaica, Montego Bay Bypass, St. Thomas, Urban Center, the highway. When you go on to other places, Portland, neighbor, with so much roads, neighbor, people who never have roads for 30 years, 25 years. Neighbor, imagine a government have 100 water projects going on across the island one time, neighbor. We ever hear them things in the history of Jamaica? And person go talk and make it look like to the government not doing nothing. Yo, neighbor, I have no problem if someone support the People's National Party, the neighbor. But when you come on the platform and you come here, don't come talk like to the government not do nothing. Come talk straight and say, yes, I see what the government do thing, but I just come here, I just can't vote Labour. And we understand that.
Scratchy just said something about the high salary increase. But the unions just rejected the 7.5% and was threatening to strike. The teachers and everybody was threatening to strike. So which high salary increase is Scratchy that for?
Man, sir, you never realized, did you know that 200 billion Jamaican dollars was added to public sector increase public sector wages? Isn't that an increase, sir?
No, I'm talking about the 7.5.
No, listen, sir, I'm saying to you, $200 billion. All right, listen, sir. the biggest public sector reform that ever happened in the history of Jamaica, something that the PNP had on the books from in the 90s that couldn't be done. No other finance minister in the history of Jamaica could have done it. No other government. It was this Andrew Holness-led government and Finance Minister Nigel Clark who took it up on themselves and decided that this is on the government books for too long and cannot be done, and created the largest increase in the public sector wage increase. 200 billion Jamaican dollars was added to pay public sector workers. Isn't that an increase, sir? What you're talking about, sir, where persons are debating about that is the increments.
Let me answer you, Scratchy.
Make him talk a little because
yes, sir, go ahead.
Let me answer you. You see, like the principals, they got a large salary increase, maybe 100% or more. You see, the police commissioner, he got a large salary increase. All the top people, that's where that money you're talking about, that it went to those people. But the middle and the lower level people, the teachers, they're offering
what kind of increase those persons got?
They're offering them 7.5%. That's why the union rejected it last week.
I'm not talking about no, sir. When Nigel Clark was the finance minister, that has already put in place. These are other increments that should be increments over the period of time that they're talking about now. Everyone got their increase, sir. Everyone. Some persons got 30% increase, 40% increase, a lot of increase across the board. Judges, principals who usually get $5 million and now start get $12-13 million.
But I just said that, Scrappy.
But sir, listen, sir. The increments were done. Sir, the increments were done over 16. It was done in what you call 16 stages.
Give me 1 minute. I just said the same thing. I said the teachers, the higher ups in the police force, they were the ones that the judges got a 300%.
Sir, I'm asking you a question now. Would you expect someone? Would you expect a clerk? I'm asking a question, sir. Would you expect a clerk who work in the Ministry of National Security to get the same wage increase as the Commissioner of Police?
Here I'm going to answer that, Scratchy. Those people who are higher ups, they were already, so they were making $4 million. And you give them a salary increase of 300%. Now they'll be making what? $12 million. If a teacher is making, say, $2 million a year, and you give them the same 300% increase, how much them make? $6 million a year. You know, better you pay the smaller people them because they might come closer and can benefit more than you already overpaying somebody more money again.
Based on the person's qualification. The person getting paid based on their qualification and the level at the whole, sir. Would you like to know that our commissioner is someone who is not paid whether any man, normal criminal can just come and bribe him? We have to make sure we compensate these people well enough, G. Waiting the Prime Minister increase on the politician's salary. We have to make sure that. All right, I'll ask you a question. Now, hold on there, 1 minute, man, sir. Yes. Someone like a RG Marks, this lady have so much who she can put towards this country, the development of Jamaica. So much in her brain, so much connection, so much links. Would you think someone like RG Marks would have leave the private sector to come be a member of parliament for a mere salary of $5 million? For $5 million? Dana Morris Dixon, you think should I leave her big salary at Giant Bank for come be a Minister of Education for $5 million?
They make more money in politics more than they make in private sector, you know. You know that because they get kickbacks.
Dana Dixon salary. The current Minister of Education. The current Minister of Education, Dana Dixon salary, she was even making more money than what she's making now as a member of parliament.
Scrappy, you don't really understand politics. They get kickbacks. You don't
understand politics. Sir, don't come to me about no kickbacks. I don't know about no kickbacks. I don't know nothing about no kickbacks, sir. Don't tell me about no kickbacks. That is madness. So I speculate as well.
The comrade is speaking about what happens in his part.
Yes, that is in the PNP party kickback going, but I don't know about kickback, bro.
Don't talk about
kickback. Is illegal. I don't know about that.
Hold on. Mansa, you just reveal. Kickback
is very illegal, sir. Don't say that.
Yeah. You just reveal something here that is wrong. We're not talking about kickbacks, and if kickbacks is happening in the PNP, it is wrong. That is how
it is wrong.
That is how you appeal. Hold on, man.
I never called
PNP. Is that how the PNP runs the government? No. Hold on.
You saying something that I didn't say.
You said that the politicians.
I didn't mention PNP, you know.
I didn't. You said politicians.
I said politicians.
So the PNP ones are not politicians.
So the
They
JP are not politicians to neighbor?
No, hold on, Munza.
I
They
said
are religious.
politicians, so why you
They are
just
religious.
PNP alone? JP aren't politicians also?
Listen, sir. The kickbacks are not are illegal. That's corruption. Are you saying that the members of parliament and ministers are corrupt?
Everybody know they're corrupt. You don't need
to speculate, man, sir. Speculation, man, sir.
That's
a broad generalizing. Man, sir, let's clear this up. Let's clear this up, sir. So you are saying that the politicians in the People's National Party are corrupt?
Why you keep mentioning the People's National Party? I said politician on the whole.
I'm asking you if the PNP are politicians.
I said politicians in the PNP. So why you keep mentioning one side?
In the PNP? Answer the question. Are there politicians in the PNP?
So there are politicians in the JLP also?
Mr. D, answer the question.
Neighbor, you're not gonna get me to say something that I didn't say. No, I said politicians. You're the one who knows saying.
And is Mr. Damian, is Mr. Hayden Campbell a politician?
I didn't call any names. I said politicians, and I leave it at that. If you wanna draw inference from it and
all right, so you are saying that politicians get kickback?
They get kickbacks.
And I'm asking you if you are suggesting that politicians in the People's National Party benefit from kickback.
Why you keep mentioning the People's National? And I said politicians on the whole. Why you keep mentioning People's National Party?
What I'm gonna ask you, man, sir, you personally know of kickbacks? Well, you know, let me
talk about. You know when
you're getting yourself in trouble right now, you know, man. So this is digital footprint, you know. If you know of politicians who are getting kickback and you don't report it.
Hold on, man. Let me say what I said. You know that some of them, if somebody was building say apartment, a certain.
Man, you put yourself in a problem, no, boss. You don't know what the
I think
the moderator mute me.
No, don't go there.
I guess the topic
don't go there, sir.
The moderator.
Yeah, man, sir. I wish not to go there with another man, sir. Trust me.
Yes, leave that alone.
I think you should go down to Fraud Squad or FID, one of those places, and go make a complaint to Mr. Dennis Strong.
Yes. All right.
I think I can know neighbor. Thank you, sir.
Never jump out. But nice try, neighbor. You
can't jump out.
You can't get me to see. You can't.
Mansa.
Why your moderator keep muting me? I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I'm leaving now, and the moderator just muted me still.
Yeah, moderator,
calm down, moderator.
I'm just. Mansa.
Yeah, yes, neighbor.
Do you agree, sir, that we have to attract good talent to the political process? You agree, sir?
Yes, you want to attract people, but
yes, no, man, hold on, because if this is the very thing that you are speaking about, you know, is that if we don't pay people well, they are likely to do things that we are not proud of.
No, you know, politics is supposed to be service to country. That's what it's supposed to be.
Then why you not join it and serve your country?
Why you put it on me? I'm telling you, if they want to be in the private sector and they want to be,
so you are saying that the people who have to stay up all night at the Ministry of Finance, you know what I heard. Hold on. You know what I heard.
What is your profession, man, sir? What is your profession, man, sir?
I'm not on trial here to tell you my personal business.
You know what I heard Peter Bunting said, sir? You know what Peter Bunting said? Mansa, you know what I heard Peter Bunting say? That he once went to the dentist and the dentist asked him what is happening to his teeth, because he was grinding his teeth because of the pressure of being Minister of National Security. No wonder he asked for divine intervention.
But
the stress of the job.
Strong said the same thing in this term also. He said basically the same thing.
And you are saying to me that these people are to do it as a service to the country.
Lee Kuan Yew did the same thing. He said he did it for the service of his country. That's why you do. And look at Singapore today.
I see.
To become a politician is
so how do they pay
their
bills and send their family to school and take care of their wives? Why?
They're not going to be paupers, but you're not coming into public sector to be billionaires and so on. If you want to be a billionaire, you're going to the private sector.
But I don't know that the salary that
neighbor. Despite them getting a salary, neighbor, they are still in a service to this country.
Yes.
Despite them getting a salary, neighbor, there's no price tag that can be put to paid politician. If you go around the world, neighbor, the president of the biggest country in the world, America, he's not the highest paid person in the country. There are a lot of persons normally probably getting bigger salary than the president.
Well,
Scratchy.
You just need to look at Elon Musk. That stood up beside Donald Trump. Much more wealthier than him.
Scratchy, or anyone, you ever see the interview where Lee Kuan Yew was saying when they got their independence and thing, they got together as a group of men who decided to give service to their country. And look at Singapore today. There wasn't worried about how much money they're making and they gave service, and Singapore is a first world country today.
What is Lee Kuan Yew wealth? How much money in value?
You have to think about value. That's the capital mindset. You give service to your country.
So I'm attaining that wealth the way, man.
How much wealth him have? Tell me the wealth. Tell me him wealth. Tell me
you don't know him wealth. May I ask you, you must have some form of wealth.
No, but you say, him accumulate that wealth there, so it sounds like you already know how much wealth him have.
I see him drive around in a limousine back in there. I watch him video there after him leave out of office.
Come on, Scott. Come on, man. If the politicians they want to be wealthy, they go into the private sector. Politicians are supposed to be service to country. That's why Michael Manley died a poor man. He was giving service to his country.
You know that the governor for the Bank of Jamaica is supposed to get a bigger salary than the Prime Minister. You know that? You man, sir?
Yeah, may I hear you, Scratchy.
Bank of Jamaica, governor for the Bank of Jamaica get a bigger salary than the Prime Minister, you know?
You know, so you're one of the few women me say have a better reasoning, but this money thing when I say, I'm gonna tell you, it's the higher heads, you know, the principals, the head of the police force, the judges, those are the people who got the 300% increase. But the regular teachers, they didn't get anything, they got 4%. And
no, they got more than 4%? No?
The first time around, I know they're
the first increase was about 25%, man. No, it was about 25%, man. So. It was about 25%.
If you're gonna pay somebody who's already making, say, $5 million and you give them 300% increase, that means a $15 million you're paying them now. Meanwhile, the teacher is making $1 million a year or $2 million a year, and you give them a 300% increase. They're just gonna make 600.
Yeah, because it was a methodology that the government used. The government, I believe it was in 16 I believe it is 16 stages. I believe there are persons who were ranked from 1. There are persons who were ranked from 1 to 6. Two of those persons who work like persons who were the judiciary. The executive branch of the government, all of those persons were ranked from 1 to 6 or 5, I believe, and then from 5 to 11, and then from 11 to 16. Right. Go all the way up to 16. So those are the stages that those persons gain them salary in. So it depends on which stage you fall in. I don't expect a teacher is going to fall in different stages. After falling in different stages than a prime minister. A teacher after falling in different stages than a judge.
Hold on a Scratchy. Somebody just said nobody got 300%. The governor general got 300% and the judges got 300% increase.
But the governor general get a salary.
What do you mean him not get OPM? No, we pay him non-stop.
The governor general get a budget.
Brother,
the governor general get a budget to run him estate to him about the brother.
Talk to Scratchy. Are we pay the governor general? You think pay him the king? A taxpayer pay him. a taxpayer pay him and him get a 300% increase for him not just sign. Just
Yeah,
come
Governor
out
General get a
Heroes
salary.
Day,
The
that's
Governor
it.
General get a
You see the
budget for
Governor
running
General
estate.
once a year, Heroes Day. That's the only time. And him get a 300%.
Governor General get a salary. Governor General get a budget to run him estate. To run him office.
Even people in the comments know say you're not talking.
Wow, look and see there now.
A taxpayer pay the Governor General. Oh, you don't know that Scratchy? A taxpayer pay the Governor General.
Wow, look and see there now.
Waiting pay him the king.
Wow, look and see.
Waiting pay him salary the king.
Wow, look and see.
We don't know say a taxpayer pay him. A taxpayer pay him. That's why they must say get rid of him because he's not serve no purpose. You know, hear people always say get rid of him because they must pay him for nothing at all.
All right, let's move on to
all right.
Lance.
Let me jump on.
Good night, sir. Take care of yourself. Lance? Well, blank from Lance. Well, I tell you something. It appears as if we are not getting through to the forecaster. I wonder if we can. I'm looking forward to something. You see, I really want to look at the manifestos of the parties as they offer themselves to Jamaica for this election. I'm anxious to have some discussions on the party's manifesto. Who else do we have who want to join us at this time? I think we have a little bit more time. So if you are in the box and you want to join us, please, you have a little time. We're still trying to see if we can squeeze in the 10 seats in Jamaica that are the closest. We want to squeeze that in tonight. If we don't get a chance to do that, I suspect we are going to have to do that tomorrow. But we have a little bit more time to spend with you. Open discussion wants to ask a question. Here he comes. Go ahead with Scratchy. Open.
Yes, sir. This question is directed to you, sir, based on what the gentleman, Master, what his name was just saying. But this question is directly to you. When the government give themselves a raise and a percentage raise, could you tell me how they came by the percentage, if you know?
Well, Scratchy, can you take that? Scratchy? Okay. I think, sir, the government had a very complex system in the public sector where they were looking at what are called allowances. I believe Nigel Clark. I'm not so sure how they came.
Would you like me to explain? Would you like me to explain it to you, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
I didn't hear your name.
The percent.
Not your question.
Is somebody speaking? The percentage raise was given, and this is how it was given. It was given in terms have never got a raise. And why people just can't understand it. People is thinking and saying to themselves, no boy, I just get up and just say, give me $20 more million. It did not work like that, sir. It worked. Yes, for long they haven't got a raise. That is how the percentage came in. So within a 16 to 17 years period, they have never gotten a raise. So within that period of time to then, when they add it up, that's what the money come up to. How hard can it be for people not understanding that? People is going around, running around saying, boy, them give themselves raise like them just come out at the bottom and say, we forget $20 more million. It did not work like that. It worked on the base, the premise of these people have not gotten a raise in 16 to 17 years. So add it up now. Add it up percentage wise.
Are you sure that is the? Are you sure?
Yes, sir. That is exactly. That is no less, no more. That is exactly what happened.
No.
That is how they arrived to the figure.
No, I am not recalling the finance minister's explanation of this, but I don't think you are.
But I can sit down. I can sit down.
Hold on. I don't think you are.
Sorry, sir. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Hold on. Kingston 11. Kingston 11. Kingston 11.
Good evening.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Kingston 11.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
You want to make a contribution? Hold on, sir.
Yeah.
You want to make a contribution?
Yeah. Yes.
You're gonna wait, sir. You just want to talk.
We have a correction to make.
Then I'm saying to you,
are you want the stupidness to continue?
Are you listening to me, sir?
Talk now, if it please you.
If it please me, please, sir. Don't bother with it. I'm saying to you, sir. You want to make a contribution, all right?
Yes, sir.
But before you come up in the box, you are in the comment suggesting that as a host, I must have all the knowledge.
No.
Don't tell me no. That's what you said.
I said you must have a broad knowledge of what the topics are, the current topics are.
And let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do I know what each caller is going to come up here to talk about?
That is why you have to educate yourself. Just like
all right, you know what something, sir. Start a program. Educate yourself on all the issues so that you can answer the questions. Have a good night. Have a good night. No. I'm done with you, sir. You have a good night. You go start a program. Educate yourself with all the information. And then you can answer all the questions.
Because all this argument about
take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, sir.
You're crazy.
All right. So discussion out of order. You want to dictate. I mean,
no, not me.
Hold on. But in all reasonableness, sir, if a man comes here and asks me what was the formula that the government used to calculate salary, and I say I don't know, oh, you're going to talk about, I should know. I mean, I don't have to know. I can't know everything, brethren. That is why you have Scratchy. That is why we have everything. You can't know everything about everything, brother. Why you have to be so cheeky and out of order, and then you want to come on the here.
But based on what I just said to you, sir, and one thing I like with your program, give me a minute. Yes. One thing that I like with you and your program is you always try to fact check a lot of things, and it would be good when you hear something right now like that. Instead of we having a dispute, boy, wait, just look at it. It's right there, and I'm telling you, you're one of that person who does just that.
Yes, and guess what? If I show you that information is going to come to me soon, I can tell you that information is going to come to me soon. But it's 17 minutes after 10 o'clock.
Well, no problem. No problem, sir. But it will be good. Okay, no problem. So since we are on this discussion, it will be good.
By the way, we have a fact checker.
But neighbor, even with.
Yes,
even with the increase, neighbor, it wasn't just an increase for parliamentarians, neighbor. It was a public sector transformation.
But I'm sure that the formula was not that. Hey, you haven't gotten an increase in 15 years.
No, neighbor, this was a public sector transformation, neighbor. It was something that was on the government books for over 20 of the years that should have eat. A lot of administration came in power, neighbor. They look at it, they tried. Everyone was afraid to attack it, neighbor. And it was the anti-honest government who was bold enough to take it on and implement it. They are the increments, they are the methodology that they use to come up with the scale. So how much the pay salaries will be increased by. they bring down they bring it down to about 16 different stages, I believe, but it was way more than that compared to how government usually get paid. The public sector transformation also cover persons who were on what they call contract workers. It had to do with how the government was paying out overtime, or the government was giving out traveling allowances and all of those different stuff. It was a combination of different stuff. It wasn't just a salary increase for parliamentarians only. It was a public sector transformation.
Well said, Scratchy, well said. But well said. I'm not taking away nothing that you said. But since the biggest issue is we have people among us who is complaining that the government give themselves a raise. Yes. All we need to do now is try to find out how they came by the raise, because a lot of people are saying them just give themselves a raise, not knowing or not looking at the fact of how the raise come in. That's the issue. They don't care about that. All them said, them just thinks about why the man just get up, Nigel Clark just get up and say, well, we forget $20 million more, and that's it. And that's what the case. So what we need to do now is check it now and see how these people arrive by paying themselves this amount of percentage. It is right here.
Yeah. Well, I think the whole public sector reform in terms of salary was a very complex thing, and I think O'Shane maybe is wanting to join us. We will get some more answers on this for you. You hear, listeners? O'Shane?
Yes, neighbor. Good night, everyone. I was just listening, you know. I just listened. This is just one part of it, as that we're talking about the compensation for the parliamentarians. The critical thing that we must remember in the whole restructure that went on, as you were saying, is what when they restructured the salary bands for public sector workers. Remember, ministers and salaries should be tied to permanent secretaries. And bear in mind, with the wage freezes and the inability of the country to make payments to certain sectors over a period of time, they were well underpaid for years. So in order for them to put them at a place where they have competitive salary, you're really going to have to raise those persons in those levels paid to market standard. And when you raise it to market standard, that is how you're going the ministers' pay or the parliamentarians' pay would actually increase to be in line with what the law says the ratio should be. So it was based off of that they got their increase. So it's on that basis we have to understand that they got a big increase, but we have to understand that if we're gonna get the best, we're gonna have to understand that we're going to have to pay the best. The reality is a lot of those persons wanting those big government entities to run certain departments, if you're especially looking at permanent secretary and other big directors within the government sectors, you're going to have to pay them on par, especially with what are even not on par, but at least close to what a private sector is getting. The reality is if you're paying nothing, you'll get. If you pay crap, you get crap. Basically, that's what I say. You want good leaders. They know what their values are.
My brother,
and they will not take a job.
My brother, could you repeat the part again that you just said? How long they haven't gotten an increase? Because that is the issue. People don't want.
Yeah, man.
Please repeat that so them can understand.
Right. What person don't understand is that we weren't able to pay our public sector workers what they deserve because the economy just was not in the place to do so. And because of that, we really got what we were paying for. We never got the brightest. We never got the best. We had people who wanted to do the work, but they never had the technical capabilities. Now you can go and attract the people with the technical capabilities to get the job done because you're paying them at their value, and people know their worth, especially in this time. These people know their worth. So we have to understand that if you want the best, you have to pay the best. So that is one of the things. The next thing I think what caused a lot of uproar is that persons politicking. The people are cry say the government had now pay them what them used to get. The reality is what they're crying about is the allowances. So they got a lot of non-taxable allowances before, but that was only a benefit in their working years. After they retire, their base salary is what your pension is paid on. And if you look at what their base salaries was, it was nothing. The base salary for a lot of them was on par with what entry-level people getting in the private sector. So when you're to get a pension, they're not getting anything. So the government actually rescued them. Imagine them getting a pension now on what they're actually getting as a base salary. They actually remain on a livable income even after they have retired. Sometimes we need to look beyond the politicking that we allow the opposition to come with while they enjoy the benefits and the spoils. They're enjoying their pain, but they're allowing us to politic it, and then we water down our own country.
Shane, hold on a minute for me. I have to take a break. Scratchy?
Yes, neighbor.
Are you able to hang on for me for a little bit? I need to take a little break.
All right.
All right, cool.
And you know, funnily, sir, you just say it again. Every time you talk, it just give the people. The opposition disagree with the wages. That's the question.
No, they're not. They're not in a disagreement with them because they're benefiting.
Exactly.
What they do, they realize that persons don't understand, and we have to understand that they realize persons don't understand. The persons only will hear a number and get angry about a number without understanding the what is behind the numbers, and then they work with that.
Yeah, but
we have to understand this opposition. This opposition strives on what we call misery. They just want to see you miserable about something, and that is what they're coming out to talk about tomorrow. So that's why you hear them, they don't have a consistent message, because guess what, you get up tomorrow, you're upset about something, the country upset about something, that is what they're running with, and they don't know what they believe.
And because talk about the man in the street now, no? Mention the man in the street, because they may have a problem with it.
Yeah,
the politician didn't disagree with it, but you disagree with it.
When the raise was done, I think Julian was in agreement, and then after that, it was like
Mark Golding come out.
Mark Golding come out.
You have one man said him rather take a haircut more than a pay cut.
All right. Okay. Yes. Open discussion. I remember that as well.
So you have to understand, sir, it is a operation that if people will look beyond their color of the party and understand that the opposition is using their ignorance to keep them in poverty. It's using their ignorance to keep them underdeveloped as a people. So they have to know what they want for themselves, and know that what is good, and just look beyond the orange and whatever. They need to start choosing themselves. Need to start knowing that they deserve better. I keep saying it, until they accept that they deserve better, they're going to accept every foolishness people throw at them. You have to know your worth. You have to know your worth. And if you do that, you realize that we're not there yet as a country. But the things that have been put in place by this government, they are fixing the real things that were wrong with us. The reality is now we can go out and employ the best. You think one time we could have approached Senator Arjun Marks to come run as an MP MP salary, you can't approach them lady and give her what MP used to make. You're crazy.
Exactly.
I think your time you could have go and get a Dana Morris Dixon from out of the private sector and come give her the change. These people are people who have equipped themselves in life, done the necessary studies, became the technical people that they are. You can't come and give them and tell them say.
Why you saying this, my brother? And this is going on to the guy. I can't pronounce if a monster way more name. Let me ask you this, so you tell me. Being a politician, you're not allowed to have a private life as a citizen out of being a politician.
Exactly, you're gonna dedicate your life to something and can't say the kids at school.
So why is these people getting up now and saying that the prime minister shouldn't be rich because he's a prime minister?
And that again is ignorance. And again,
that's what I'm saying.
Ignorance. Because if you understand, the prime minister came into politics at a young age, about 25 I heard, or something around that time. Now the reality is you come into politics at that time. The reality is you're on a salary. If you are a smart person, you're going to start businesses and investments because you're now. Alright, look at me. Before I started working,
and also your lifestyle too. The man is a married man.
You're interacting with people. He's interacting with investors.
But Oshie, I want my discussion. The current prime minister right now, salary, wealth, is of no much proportion seems similar. And I know proportion seems similar having any business or anything like that.
And you have to understand the man. You can't see that the prime minister that we have is a visionary. And if he's a visionary for the country, how much of a visionary did you expect him to be for his own life? If you think a man whenever they do well for him life could come sell you a message of prosperity, the reality is he's able to sell us a message of prosperity because you see that this man is a man that knows how to build. This is a man that knows how to create. This is a man that has a vision. And because you see he is able to do that, you have confidence that he can take that over into the country. And he's doing that. That is the verity. He knows how to lay the right foundations, put the right people in the right place. Because I don't know, that's what I'm looking at now, He's putting in some persons in positions, poor positions, that we will never have to worry about the fact that these people don't know how to build wealth. These people know how to build wealth. These people know how to create opportunities. Look at Nigel Clark. He is one of the best mathematicians we heard of, and economist or whatever his area of study was. And look what he did with our economy. That even the IMF have to say, no man, this man too good, let's come for him.
And look where he's at now.
Let's see if we can impart some of this to other countries.
Exactly, and look where he's at now. The man just leave Cairo, he just leave Egypt, and put in Egypt on the right path. And these people cannot understand that for the love of whatever you point it out to them don't play it.
So them have to understand, say, Jamaica is in the best shape it has ever been. And I like how the Prime Minister always talk to us. He understands that he will never get the base at the PNP. He accepts that, and I have accepted that now. We will never get the base at the PNP. A die-hearted PNP will always be a die-hearted PNP. So whenever he speaks, he always says, my well-thinking Jamaicans. Because at the end of the day, it's going to take the well-thinking Jamaicans to understand that in order to keep us going where we need to go, we are the ones who are going to have to get up and go out and vote. We're the ones that are going to have to get up and spread the message to the persons who are interested in listening to the good news. Right now, me don't want to listen to a PNP sometime because all they're coming with is negativity. And I can't be seeing positive things around me and you are trying to convince me that it's negative. There's no way I can be looking at an apple and you are try convince me say orange, me I see. Me not mad. Me know say when me look on right now is developments, it's foundations putting into place to create wealth, to create prosperity, to create an
brother,
opportunity for people who have a vision for them
Shane,
life.
listen to me.
Right now, I'm telling people, if you have a vision for your life, the foundations are being put in place that you can go and act on that vision and deliver. If you want to be a business owner, they're cutting the red tapes to be a business for you to own your business. If you want to work into the for people, they're creating the opportunity for you to get the best jobs you can get. I don't know. I think that's my few words. We just need to keep pressing it on. I believe that there are enough well-thinking Jamaicans out there that we can get ahead of the die-hearted people.
And if you ask me, my brother, they're not blind. Them see it. But their track record, which they have proven to us time and time again, they are destructive. And I know me, I say it, we see them do it under two administration, what they have done to our country. So when them say time come for them come back, come destroy again. That's all it is. Don't think them don't see, them not blind. Them see. You have one of them, him see it, you know what him say? Boy, we now give the administration and the Prime Minister no glory because what he's doing, he's supposed to do it. Fine. I don't say no, I give you all praise for that. But the issue is, why you never give me it? So that me have to ask
you know why I tell her that these people are disingenuous. I spoke to a person who is a part of the People's National Party. I had a conversation with one of them one time, and he was trying to convince me that PNP should come into power. And after we were having a long conversation, that very person looked at me and said, he makes more money when JLP is in power. So I say, why you want them come back in? It's about power for them. For them, they just want the reins. He may tell me that, but that's what I picked up because of what he said. Because in my mind, I could not fathom how you make more money when JLP in a power, but you want your party come back in a power. It does never make sense to me. But as I say, our country is going in the right direction. We have a very good leader. And I was telling someone earlier tonight that leadership matters. And if you have a good leader and trade him for somebody who will tell you say him all over the place, then the country will eventually be all over the place. Mark Golding is nowhere near the leader Andrew Holness is. And if we give up what we have for what they're offering, then we don't mean ourselves any good. We have to keep this train rolling on. But that's my words. Eva?
Thank you so much, sir. Open discussion?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna leave it there for tonight. Thank you.
Enough respect. Yeah, man. Good night to everybody. Enough respect.
You stay with us almost for the entire show. What a beautiful time.
Yeah, man. Enough respect, sir. Good night.
My listeners, you know that we are tonight to have had Scratchy back. Welcome back, Scratchy.
I'm chilling.
Welcome back, Scratchy.
Yeah, neighbor, man, we're here chilling. That's the neighbor you touched on a little topic there, yeah, where the JPS license, yeah?
Yes. And that's going to be in 2027.
I think it's a good move by the government. I commend it.
Yeah. Well, you know the whole matter of energy, sir, is
because JPS is one of the persons who are one of the organization and one of the pillars are one of the columns in Jamaica that is hindering growth and prosperity, you know?
Does that mean that the government will retake JPS Scratchy?
Huh?
Does this mean that the government will retake JPS or they'll seek another?
They're saying that they're in negotiation with other partners, and they made a statement. A particular part of the statement that really caught my attention was the part where the statement said that JPS is also asked to be a part of those negotiations. I don't know what the statement didn't clarify in what capacity JPS would be a part of those negotiations. If they would be
I thought the government only own 20% of JPS.
Yes.
Is that they're going to bite back?
No, they said that they're not they made it clear in the statement that the government has no intention of taking over running JPS.
Look at Claudette Fox praying for me there online. Every tongue that rises against me, she cancel it. Well, Claudette, thank you so much. We always have more supporters than detractors. That's why I was so displeased with this man trying to look some, you know. Thank you, Claudette, and you have been here from the start, eh? Yes, and Tari's mother, Lady T. Oh, Lady T, how is Tari? Now I have a nice lady looking down at me right here where I'm sitting. I have a nice lady looking down at me. Wonder why don't I just start? Scratchy. Scratchy?
Yeah, neighbor, I'm out. You need to go and chill with the lady now.
Yes, I suspect that. That's what, and it's cold in Canada, is it not?
No, it's very, very, very warm right now, neighbor. Warm.
What time is it in Canada?
What time? It is now exactly 11:52.
Oh, you're 1 hour ahead of us. Look at that. It's 10:52 in Jamaica.
Yes, I'm 1 hour ahead. And the celebration is still going on, you know?
Well, we started late tonight because we had a little bit of challenge earlier. But we still had a fantastic show, Scratchy.
Yeah, neighbor, a wonderful show. As usual, you know, a wonderful show.
Yeah, man.
Again, neighbor, just I want to just continue to stay focused, neighbor.
Yes.
So just don't rise from our detractors. I will come back stronger. Just continue to stay focused. Don't dwell too much on whatever is going on, you know? As the person who the mud is throwing towards, just try to remain calm and remain militant as usual as you are, you know? Don't feed into it. And just continue to remain strong. And just continue to do what you're doing, you know? You take your time, and you come and you have this program, you're not being paid, you know? You're here doing it, so you have to respect you for that. No, yes. If you have to acknowledge, you have to respect you for that. You know, you have to understand sometimes, despite how you might share your views, we all have our own opinion and we're entitled to our own opinion. And we shouldn't be bashed or criticized or condemned.
Shani, how you doing? Go under your bed. Shani, what are you doing up at this time of the night? At 7 minutes to 11 o'clock? Please go to your bed, Shani. Please go to your bed right now. Right now. You turn big woman. But you're depend live. At 11 o'clock. Please go to your bed. Turn off the lights and go to sleep, Shani. Why, Jamaica girl? I try my best. I really try my best not to join these programs, but today was just, it rubbed me hard. I tell you, when I sat and listened, it rubbed me hard. May I tell you? Shamika, how you doing? Good night to you. All right, listeners, if I stay here with you, then I'll stay here until 12 o'clock. So until tomorrow, have a great night. Scratchy, take care of yourself. Here, bye-bye. Jamaica girl, as always, thank you so much. Philippians, I know you're listening somewhere there. Good night also. And